There's something else, Justine. This should be the last thing me and Just discovered upstairs. Chris Kuma, you should have really given us enough time to tell each other these things. But this is funnier! Here I go. It's coming together. There was a tossed-aside blanket next to Jama's hole. And differently from Just's room, Jama's room was completely closed. Chris Kuma was the reason we could walk in. A blanket next to the hole? Ever since the second room shake-up, I did notice that blanket on the ground. Jama told me he liked to sit on the ground and chat. But in reality, he was hiding that hole from the only person he let into his room. Just, I understand. There's evidence against Joss, but also in favor of him. Do you think both of them are laughing at us now for creating such a stupid case? Probably. Do you think the reason we are so confused is because we have yet to figure out Jama's plan? Jama's plan? What do you mean? We know his plan already. No, we don't. We know what he tried to do, but not what he was planning. That's our next topic then. If we can all agree that Just's story is credible enough and Jama made both the holes, I think that's fine. If Jama hid his hole away from Just, then I doubt they were together, at least. Very well. All the things we know thus far, there's no doubt about it. Jama was trying to frame Just. That makes sense. But why was he dressed like him? Let me answer that. Based on Just's story, he wasn't yet wearing that attire when they met up. We deduced before that he used our trust in Just to lure his target down. Does that mean he would have taken it off right after? With how little time there was between their deaths and when we discovered them, it would have been way too risky. Then what was he planning? Acting as Just for an entire class trial sounds exhausting. You'll come far with that. It would have been exhausting for anyone else that isn't named Jama Batoya. Wait, I was exaggerating there. I'm intrigued to hear this. What makes you believe Jama was planning to impersonate Just while he was still alive? While I don't have actual proof for this theory, I do have something else. The untouched couch. The couch? Really? Yes, really. The couch looked completely untouched, like nobody used it since yesterday. However, Just's story tells us both of them were seated on it. The pillows on the couch aren't firm enough to not leave evidence of that behind. Wait, what is it you're saying exactly? Jama tidied up the couch, removing all evidence of him sitting there with someone else. For a plan like that to work, he needed us to be in the dark. And if he was convincing enough to lure his target downstairs, he probably played one hell of a Just. I have noticed the pattern of the couch having been tidied up whenever we went down for the morning. Was it your doing, Chris Kuma?
Yup! You're real jackasses, you know? Letting a plushie do all the work? Shame on you!
Anyway, so Jama tried replicating it like no one was downstairs alongside Just, right? So, Jama was planning to act as me all throughout the investigation and trial. Ah, I got it. That's why there are differences in attires. Huh? If he was trying to frame Just, he used the similar attires to throw him off as a game. But with those small differences, he'd figured we'd be smart enough to notice who was the real Just. We'd all mistakenly vote for him in that reality. Remember Jama's words to Just, JJ?
You're weak, Just. You have the right tools,
You have the right personality. But you're a pushover. A complete pushover. Yeah, I do. He planned to pin Just in a corner where he'd be too weak to fight out of. Is that correct? If his plan was trying to frame me, that proves it wasn't me, right? How so? You could have woken up sooner than what he had expected. In that case, Jamila would be his target, and you'd be the one who distracted Jama for Jamila to strike. That is a possibility. Wearing Just's outfit, all of us would be off our game. He'd pin it all on Just and use the small differences in his clothes to point us to his own victory. Is that really right? And how about the Chris Kuma announcement? Did we forget about that? Right, on paper, it's a very clear indicator. But is it really so simple? If Jama's plan was to frame Just and get away, if that was the full extent of it, something doesn't add up. Look, this has been the third time we have postponed this trial. I don't want it to be anyone either. I am sick and tired of this killing game. But it has to be someone. This time, it's the ultimate sailor. It is Jama. Jama never planned to get out. After all this time, we made it on the roof. Can see the path we walked, man, a nice view. Every single bit mattered in our growth. Now it's Christmas time, hitting every note. Looking down, staying high, it's all looking clear. Presents in the backseat, working like a deer.